All right, what is going on, guys? Um, this is my YouTube channel. I still gotta come up with a name for it, but I'm gonna be talking fights on here. I'm gonna be talking about UFC fights. Um, so this is my full card picks and predictions for UFC 328 Shemaev versus Strickland in Newark, New Jersey. I am this so I'm pretty big into MMA, and this is my first time actually going to a UFC event, and I'm pretty excited. I think I picked a good one. We got crazy main event, the crazy beef with this fucking main event right here. Josh Van versus Tetsuo Taira. It's gonna be a I love both these guys. Volkov versus Waldo. Sean Brady versus what the fuck is up with this? All right, let me hold on. What? I don't know what's up with the UFC page. Here, let me change it to Tapology because I don't know what's going on here. All right, all right. UFC 328. Let me just start with these picks. All right, first fight of the night. We have Clayton Carpenter versus Jose Ochoa. I'm gonna pick Jose Ochoa by round two TKO. He's let's look who he's fought. Aslam Abayev. He's pretty good. So no shame losing to it. And Lonnie Kavanaugh, we know he's like top five now after that win over Brandon Moreno. But yeah, Jose Ochoa is good, man. He trains at Shooter Box with Charles Oliveira. He's got some power. I've seen his fight with Cody Durden. I know Cody Durden's not the best opponent, but Clayton Carpenter, like, look at who he's losing to Jeff Alfilio, to Gear, like, yeah, he hasn't. Oh, he's a win over Edgar Shirez. That's all right. But yeah, I'm going with Ochoa here. He's got some power. He's got some pretty good power for flyweight. Um, and yeah, it's yeah. All right, next we have Baisengor Susarkayev versus Jordan Santos. So Susarkayev, huge favorite here, as you can see. Um, he's Shemaev's boy. He's the one that fucking he fought on Contender Series, and then 3 days later he fought on the same card as Shemaev. Um, I'm picking Sursakayev, but I'm just gonna say this guy is not all that. Like he's like Eric Nolan. Eric Nolan was putting belt on him in the first round, and then and like I know people that train with Eric Nolan, so this is like he was putting belt on Eric Nolan, and yeah, and then Eric Nolan made a dumb decision in round two. He tried to grapple, and which he's not a grappler, and he got submitted. So is what it is. But yeah, I definitely think he's gonna beat this. I definitely think Sursakaev is gonna beat this Jordan Santos guy. Yeah, Danny Barlow. Don't think he's in the UFC anymore. Will Curry, and then he lost to fucking Ozzy Diaz. So, um, yeah, yeah, 96% Susakayev. Yeah, I'm going Susakayev by. Um, is he gonna finish this guy? I don't fucking know. Maybe I'm gonna go like late round TKO or decision. All right, moving on. Pat Sabatini versus William Gomez. I'm going Pat Sabatini by a dominant decision. I think this guy's a fucking good grappler. He beat Shepe Mariscal, who's if you know ball, he's he's beaten some good guys. And then Joe Anderson Brito, Marauder, lost to Lopez. What are you gonna do? But yeah, but Sabatini's pretty good with the grappling. He trains in Philly with Sean Brady and Joe Pyfer and those guys. And William Gomez, he's just like, yeah, he had a boring fight against this fucking Ruchala guy. Lost to Hyder Emil. I thought he lost this fight to Joe Anderson Brito. Giannis Gamori. Maria ones know Peyton Talbot, Giannis Gamori. Whatever. I'm getting off topic. Beat Fran. I haven't seen this fight against Francis Marshall, but yeah, I think Sabatini's gonna out grapple him to a 30-27 decision. I don't think Gomez is all that, but hey, we'll see. All right. Oh yeah, this one I'm hyped for. Next, we got my boy Kopylov, Roman Kopylov. He's fighting Marco Tulio. I am picking Roman Kopylov by round 3 head kick KO. That's right. I'm making predictions like that out here. So Roman Kopylov, this guy, he's 35. I know he looks like he's 20, but he's 35. He's beaten some. Let's see. All right, not the best wins, but listen, he's good. He's good. He didn't get He went to decisions with Costa and RoboCop. He didn't get finished by him, and yeah, Tulio is coming off a pretty bad KO loss to Christian Leroy Duncan. I think Christian Leroy Duncan's pretty good. I think he could. I think CLD's got like top 10 potential. Oh, that's making Matulio look good. Whatever. But I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, pretty close. But fuck. That's whatever. It's my first video. Who cares? But yeah, I'm going Kopylov. I think Kopylov's the more explosive striker. I think Tulio is gonna be trying to. I don't know. This is either gonna be really good or it's gonna be really boring. But yeah, Kopylov's gonna fucking KO this guy, dude. Yeah. This guy's beating like Eeyore Paterio and Trey Strongor. Kopylov is beating Chris Curtis. Like I know this is whole. I know I'm just saying who's beating who and MMA math and all this other shit, but yeah, yeah. I'm going Kopylov. Just trust me on this one. All right, Jim Miller versus Jared Gordon. I'm picking fucking Jared Gordon, dude. I mean, Jim Miller is what? He's 42. I mean, Jared Gordon's not that young, but yeah, Jim Miller is probably 42. He's like what? Why is he even still fighting? Like, I don't know, but he's a legend. Most wins in UFC history, most fights in UFC history, but he's definitely like, yeah, he's definitely past. I mean, of course he's past his prime, but like I don't think he should. Like, who are these wins over? Jesse Butler. Yeah, I don't think any of his wins are still in the UFC, or at least like recent wins. Lost the decision. Oh yeah, he went to war with Bobby Green at UFC 300, and then Chase Hooper beat him, and then Jared Gordon, he got hit by a fucking car in his last fight. That's why he lost to Rafa Garcia. But Rafa Garcia just beat Alexander Hernandez. So I don't know. Maybe he's like actually like all right. Nazar Haqparast, he's pretty good. But and this guy, I don't know how I didn't mention this yet. He fucking beat Paddy Pimblett. This guy straight up beat Paddy Pimblett. Everyone knows that. But so yeah, I'm going Jared Gordon by. Is he gonna finish Jim Miller? I don't know. Jim Miller's pretty hard to finish. I'm gonna go. Yeah. So I didn't explain why. I'm just talking about like wins here. But I think Jared Gordon is. Yeah, he's just less washed. I think Jim Miller shouldn't even be in the UFC anymore. He's a legend, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna go Jared Gordon by decision. I don't think he's gonna finish Jim Miller. But yeah. Next, Grant Dawson versus Mateusz Raumbetsky. So I like Grant Dawson. I think he's a good, pressure heavy wrestler, but he just doesn't have a chin. He got chinned by Bobby Green, he got chinned by Manuel Torres, he got chinned by someone else, I think. And Raumbetsky, he's a brawler. Like, he doesn't fuck around. He's got some losses. Who is he? Carlos Diego Ferreira, Chris Duncan, Ludovic Klein. But he's got a win over Oralbai. That's fucking crazy. Oralbai could be like top 5, top 10, like, so. But yeah, I think so. It's really just like, I gotta look in the, like, does Rebecca, they don't have these stats on here. I gotta see his like takedown defense. That's what's gonna fucking, here, hold on a second. I'm looking up Rebecca takedown defense. Sorry guys, I should have fucking studied study tape while watching this. Oral by Krista. All right, whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Rebecca's gonna chin Grant Dawson in the first round. That's what I'm going with. All right. Oh my God. Now this one. This is fucking. If you know ball, you know that both of these guys have like top five potential at welterweight, especially Yaroslav Amosov. I'm gonna get to him, but Joel Alvarez, he's this. If you've seen, and I know he had like a. I know he had a shaky performance against Vicente Luque. I still think he like 30-26 Luque. I think. Well, was it 30-26? I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, this guy destroyed Luque, which Luque, Luque's a crafty vet. You know what I'm saying? Like to get a dominant win over him, that's yeah. And then Jakar, the Jakar close fight. Dude, if you've seen that finish, like the knee, that fucking knee, and then he caught him with the guillotine on the way down. So he was like punching him while he had him in a guillotine. That was a crazy fucking finish. And then Elvis Brenner and Mark Jacasey, and he lost to Arman. What's his other loss in the UFC? Demirs Magulov. Oh my God, I know ball. Yeah, so yeah, his only losses are Arman and Demirs Magulov, but Amosov on the other hand, if you don't know the lore behind this guy, so this guy this guy was like undefeated. He was he was undefeated. He was in Bellator. He was fucking like running through everybody, and then Russia invaded Ukraine. So he stopped fighting to join the Ukrainian like defense forces or something like that. So yeah, this guy is fucking crazy, and I've seen him fight live at CFFC. Like this fight with Curtis Millender, like I was there for that. So and he submitted him like quickly, and then when he got to the UFC, he subbed Neil Magny in the first round too, I believe, in the first round. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he subbed Neil Magny in the first round. But yeah, this guy, I'm gonna go Amosov here. I think Amosov has the plot armor here. And he's a year younger, and Joel Alvarez, he's really good. I can't lie, he's really good, but I just don't know. Like I think Amosov is like a top level fucking like he's like a top welterweight. Like I would pick him to beat like let me think. Who would I pick Amosov to beat? He would probably beat like Sean Brady and Joaquin Buckley, who we're going to talk about that fight later. But I think this is kind of like a higher level fight than Brady and Buckley. Like this is some good shit right here. I can't believe this is on the prelims. This should definitely be on the main card instead of Bobby Green and the hardest hitting 145er. But yeah, I'm going to go Amosov by decision. I'm going to go Amosov by a gritty fucking decision. But yeah, both these guys are fucking good though, so I don't know, I could be wrong. Next, all right. Ateba Gautier versus Ozzy Diaz. If Ateba Gautier does anything other than chin him in the first round, then this is a bad look for him. This is like Ozzy Diaz. See, I gotta look into this guy. Or both these. Let's see. Yeah, first round Zhang Yang, second round Joe Pyfer. Wait, Zhang Yang? What the fuck? Did this guy fight at 205? Anyways, yeah. Oh my god, and minus 1,000 favor. I try not to look at the odds that much. Like I try to come up with my own opinions, but yeah, Temba Gautier should chin this guy in round one. If he like they've been like spoon feeding him fucking these like cans. This is another, and then he went to a decision with Pulayev, and then everyone was acting like it was a robbery because Pulayev didn't get knocked out. Well, I wouldn't say everyone was acting like it was a robbery. This was the first this was on the first Paramount card, so there were a bunch of casuals watching. Well, you know, now every card there's like a fight that people cry robbery for, even though it's not a robbery. Like I don't know. I can't think of. Well, no, well, on the same card, like O'Malley versus Song Yadong. That was not a robbery at all. But I don't want to get into that. But so yeah, Ateva Gautier. He should fucking chin this guy in the first round. I think that's what they wanted to do for this matchup. After this, I don't know. Well, who should he fight next? Ateva Gautier. Oh, bro, put him in there with like Kelvin Gastelum or something. Yeah. Ateva Gautier round 1 KO. All right, main card time. Bobby Green versus Jeremy Stevens. Now, I could see why they put this on the main card. This is probably going to be like a back and forth war. Now, I see some people picking Jeremy Stevens because of his power. I get it. I don't know. I just don't see it, dude. Um, I don't know. When was the last time Jeremy Stevens, like, yeah, BKFC, he fucking some doctor stoppage wins. When was the last time he KO'd someone in MMA? 2018, Josh Emmett. Like, seriously, like, I'm not. I mean, I know Bobby Green is chinny, but come on now, like, yeah, I'm going Bobby Green, crafty decision. I think this is gonna be a war. I think like this is gonna, you know what this is gonna look like? This is gonna look like Bobby Green's fight with Jim Miller, like, except maybe, yeah, this is probably gonna look like Bobby Green versus Jim Miller. Like, Jeremy Stevens is gonna be fucking bleeding everywhere. Like, it's, yeah. I think this is gonna be a war on the main card. Like, they're gonna be like, oh, this is why they put it on the main. Like, you know what they say. But yeah, and Bobby Green, he's got some momentum right now. That fight with Lance Gibson Jr., wasn't the best, but he straight up, this is what you call a fraud check against fucking Daniel Zellhuber. Shit, I'm swearing a lot here. Whatever. But this is what you call a fraud check against Daniel Zellhuber. Because before that, he lost to Riovich, he lost to Michael Johnson, whatever. Getting shinned by Bobby Green, like, that's, yeah. But yeah, Bobby Green, he's got some wins recently, sub by Patty, it is what it is. Oh, that in this fucking that, and then Roofy with that spinning heel kick. But so yeah, he's definitely chinny. But Jeremy Stevens hasn't shinned anyone since 2018. So I don't. And wait? Sorry, I'm sorry. Let me look at this. Yeah, like, that's crazy. Yeah, yeah. Bobby Green by decision. Yeah. All right, this fucking fight. So, Sean Brady versus Joaquin Buckley. I think Joel Alvarez versus Yaroslav Amosov is higher level than this. We'll see. That could age like shit. Get the fuck out of here, stupid Sydney Sweeney ad. But yeah, Sean Brady. I'm going with Joaquin Buckley here by round 1 KO. I think Sean Brady's a little chinny. He got TKO'd by Bilal, and then Michael Morales. But I feel like if you don't have power, I feel like if you don't have power, like, you're not gonna do well against Sean Brady, because he's a good grappler. His wrestling's all right, but just the straight up grappling, I think he's, like, really fucking solid. Like, he destroyed Leon Edwards. Like, Leon couldn't do shit against him. He was fucking bullying him in there. But Joaquin Buckley, Buckley's got some fucking power, dude. He flatlined Wonderboy. No one, I think the only other person to flatline Wonderboy was Anthony Pettis, which, if real ones know about that knockout. And then Ruzaboyev, yeah, fucking 6'5" at welterweight. Ruzaboyev finished Luque. Doctor stoppage against Colby. Yeah, look at this guy's fucking physique, bro. I know physique doesn't always matter in MMA, but, like, yeah, they're the same height, and look at their physiques, bro. Like, and he got. I hate bringing up MMA math, because, like, that, but he got TKO'd by Bilal, dude. Like, I don't know. And he probably stuffed a good. I'm looking up stats again. Buckley versus Usman stats. let's see. How many of how many takedowns he? Yeah, yeah. Usman. So Usman went 4 of 13 on him. So that means he stuffed 9 of Kamaru Usman takedowns. Yeah, no, I'm going Buckley. Buckley round 1 or 2 TKO. All right, what time is it? All right, we're all good on time. Shit, I got hit. I got hit to work in a little bit. All right, next fight: Alexander Volkov versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. I'm gonna go Volkov by like a crafty vet decision. I don't say crafty vet, crafty like gatekeeper decision. Um, yeah, I feel like if you're being Volkov, you gotta be like, you gotta be the elite of the elite. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's look at this guy's resume. All right, Jailton Almeida. Jailton. This was like you could score this fight either way, in my opinion. Jailton Almeida did no damage. He was just controlling him the whole time. But yeah, Waldo's not gonna Jailton Almeida Volkov. Everyone knows Volkov won this fight with Gon. He beat Pavlovich. That's a good win. Pavlovich is like, you know, top level. Tai Tuivasa, Romanov, Rosenstrike. Finished Rosenstrike in the first round. That's a good win. Lost to Aspinall. It is what it is. Beat Tybura. Yeah, I think. And then Derek Lewis fluked him on the fucking, on the Khabib Connor card. But and then Waldo, who's he lost to? I know he lost to Pavlovich. What's his other L? Is on the regional scene? Yeah. Oh no, it's this guy. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna go Volkov by decision. I think he's just gonna outstrike Waldo. That's pretty much it. I don't think. And if Waldo tries to wrestle him, I think Volkov can stay on the feet. This guy, yeah, he's 6'7". He's I shouldn't have said that, but whatever. It's 2026. Like, fuck off. But I'm sorry, guys. I'm not the best at speaking. This is my first video, so bear with me. Seriously, thank you if you've made it this far. But yeah, I'm gonna go Volkov by crafty gatekeeper decision. Yeah, I think this is gonna stay on the feet, and Volkov outstrikes Waldo in my opinion. So yeah. All right. Oh man, co-main event. Now I love both of these guys. Joshua Van, this guy. I've watched like his whole come up basically. He got chinned by Charles Johnson. I was like, oh damn, like I was a little upset when he got chinned by Charles Johnson because but then he got right back in there against Edgar Shirez at the Sphere. Put on a great fight. That fight was one of the highlights from the Sphere. Then he beat Cody Durden on the Shavkat. I just said the Shavkat card as if Pantoja wasn't the main event, but that's what I think of when I think of that card is Shavkat. But yeah, he got a good win over Cody Durden on that card, and then Ray Suryuria. I gotta rewatch the Ray Suryuria fight. I should have done more. I'm sorry, guys. I've been so busy. I should have done more research before this. But yeah, and then he beat Ray Suryuria, which is pretty similar stylistic matchup to Tyra. I mean, I know Tyra's obviously better than Ray Suryuria, but I think they train together. And then he finished Bruno Silva, went to war with Royval, and then, everyone knows what happened with the Pantoja fight. But Tyra's pretty good too. I like this guy. I like his I'm happy, thank you. Oh shit. Am I gonna get canceled for that? Whatever. But yeah, he's got some good wins. Beat Edgar Shirez. That was an injury. Moreno. I mean, I think Moreno's kind of either Moreno's washed or this new generation is just goated. But I don't know. We got to see with Moreno's next fight. But oh man, this is a tough one to pick. I want to go with Joshua Van. I think he's definitely trained his takedown defense. We haven't seen his takedown defense since was it did Bruno Silva try to take him down? It was either Bruno Silva or Ray Cerrulla, but his takedown defense was pretty good against Ray Cerrulla, and it definitely has gotten better since then. Like he's definitely been working on that. Tyra, his striking has gotten better. He looked good. I think he dropped Young Sung Park and then submitted him, but yeah, damn. I'm gonna go. I think Van's got this. I think Van. He's got to keep this on the feet. You can't be on the ground too long with Tyra. Tyra's good on the ground, but everyone knows that. But yeah, Van's got to. So the question is Van going to be able to stay on the feet? And I think he might be able to. I think he's going to be able to get back up. He's going to be tacking up Tyra like crazy. And I think if this goes into the later rounds, I think he could finish Tyra. Van's got a crazy gas tank. He's got a crazy gas tank. I think I'm going to go Van by like late round. I'm going to say Van round 5 TKO. That's what I'm feeling here. Tyra, but Tyra could definitely pull it off though. I'm not super confident with that pick, but I'm just feeling a Van TKO and all this shit coming in. He's playing the heel and stuff. I'm gonna be at the press conference. Is that tomorrow already? Damn. Sorry, tomorrow. I'm gonna be at the press conference tomorrow, wearing my Josh Van shirt. Everyone's gonna be booing my guy, but it is what it is. But I really like Tetsuro Taira too. This guy, he had a great fight with Roy Val. Van had a better fight with Roy Val, but Taira had a great fight. And he actually won. But regardless, Taira had a great fight with Roy Val. And I like him. I like his energy and shit. And it's cool that he's from Japanese and he could be, from Japanese. It's cool that he's from Japan and he could be the first Japanese champion. So yeah, that's pretty sick. But I'm going Van, round 5 TKO. All right, main event time. Khamzat Chimaev. All right, I'm good on time. I'm like stressing because I have to go to work in a little bit. But Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland. Chimaev is fucking winning this. Strickland was getting taken down by Dricus. I thought he won this first fight with Dricus, but in the second fight, he was getting taken down. Dricus, 50-45'd him. And then, this boring fight with Costa, and he beat Izzy. The Izzy fight was fucking crazy, but Izzy and Khamzat are, opposites. They're, complete opposites, so that doesn't matter here. But, yeah, I think, so, let's talk about the Fluffy fight, because Fluffy is, the most similar matchup to Chimaev in this division. I'd say, I feel like that was sort of a warm-up for Strickland against Chimaev, but there's just levels to this shit. I think Chimaev might have the best takedowns in UFC history. No one can stop this man. Kamaru Usman, except for Gilbert Burns, but that's because Chimaev didn't want to go to the ground with Gilbert Burns, because Burns has the submission threat. He's one of the best jiu-jitsu grapplers in UFC history. So, yeah. But, this guy, he won that Usman fight 29-27. I think that's the correct scorecard. And I hate people saying that, if it was, oh my God, I hate when people say this. If that fight was 5 rounds, Usman would have won. Shut the fuck up. First of all, it wasn't 5 rounds, so, I guess we'll never know. But second off, in the fight against Dricus, he dominated Dricus for the whole 5 rounds. I think that was the most dominant performance I've ever seen. I had every round, me personally, this is all my opinion, I had every round scored a 10-8 except for round 5. Yeah, crazy fucking performance against Dricus. But Dricus didn't get submitted because he's fucking tough as shit. He submitted Whitaker. So Whitaker is a pretty, I wouldn't say out of all Shemaev's recent opponents, I would say Whitaker is like the most. Whitaker is definitely the most similar stylistic matchup to Strickland, and yeah, and Whitaker went out there and then got taken down and submitted in the first round. So I mean, I know Strickland has better, probably has better take. They probably have similar takedown because I know Whitaker had good takedown defense, and people like I know people are picking Whitaker. I mean, you could say that about, but people are always gonna pick against Shemaev because they just like don't like him. But I mean, you could say that about any fighter, but but Shemaev specifically because he's like I don't know. I feel like he's not the most likable. He pulled out of what was it? Oh, he pulled out the first time he got booked against Whitaker. Um, yeah, people just don't like Shemaev, so they're gonna pick against him. But yeah, I think Strickland he's gonna survive early. Shemaev's gonna take this dude down. He's gonna the whole first round. He's just gonna be controlling him and shit. And then I think in the second round, Strickland's gonna fight back a little bit. He's gonna be thrown like they're gonna be thrown on the feet. He's gonna be yelling at him. Everyone's gonna be like the whole place is gonna be like Strickland, Strickland. Yeah. Dude, being there for this live is gonna be insane, dude. I can't wait. And but yeah, I'm going Shemaev round three sub. I think yeah, he's gonna dominate early, and in round two, Strickland's gonna come back a little bit. He's gonna be tagging him on the feet a little bit. He's gonna get the crowd hype, and then round three, Shemaev's gonna be like, all right, fuck this, take him down, subs him, and then that's that. And then there might be a brawl. This might be like Conor Khabib, where Shemaev goes to attack like Strickland's corner. I don't know, something could definitely go down. Like something could go down at the press conference, at the weigh-ins. This whole like this is just a ticking time bomb right here. Like something's gonna happen with these two. But yeah, as for the fight itself, I'm going. Yeah, Shemaev is definitely winning. Either yeah, I think he's gonna sub Strickland. So yeah, those are so. All right, here are my picks. Here's a quick recap: Ochoa KO, Susakayev decision, Sabatini decision, Kopylov. I said round three head kick. That's all right. That's a bit of a right. That's a bit of a reach. I'm gonna go Kopylov by decision. Gordon decision, Rebecki round one KO, Amosov decision, Gauthier round one KO, Bobby Green decision, Buckley round one KO, Volkov decision, Van round 5 TKO, Shemaev round 3 submission. Let me know what you guys think. Oh yeah, I'm using all like the bedtime lines right here. Shit. Shout out bedtime though. He's like one of my biggest. He's one of my biggest inspirations for this channel. But yeah, yeah. I'm just super hyped to see this live, man. So yeah, I'm gonna be at the press conference. I'll be at the 328 press conference. I'm gonna be at the White House press conference. I'm gonna be at the weigh-ins. I'm doing all that shit, bro. I'm just so hyped for this. So yeah, this is the YouTube channel. I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet. I might come up with like a filler name and then give it some time, and I'll come up with like an actual name. But yeah, I'm super hyped for this card. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I will see you next time. And I'm definitely doing a recap. I don't know. I might have said that already, but I'm definitely doing a recap for this card. So, yeah. See ya.